Clownado is a film by Todd Sheets. This was released in 2019, according to the back of this, or 2018 because I've heard both again. I recently reviewed Bone Hill Road, also by Todd Sheets. You can check out that review on this channel if you like, and subscribe, of course. And this is his second, well, his second film that I know of. I know that he has some more before and has worked on shorts and has done other things other than direct, but these are the two films that I picked up. Clownado, of course, going off the big Sharknado thing. And this film is not in the tornado full of clowns instead of sharks and being hilarious sense that you may think from the title and the picture itself. This film takes itself seriously enough, especially with the horror and everything going on. This film is packed with gore. I already talked about Bone Hill Road, and I assume people know about that film. But one thing this film enhances about Bone Hill Road is the practical effects and the gore. This thing is loaded to the fucking hilt. And again, we're going camera forward right to the gore, and we're like having people playing with intestines and slicing bodies, and this gives Terrifier like a challenge when it comes to the gore. The gore aspect, this is double what Bone Hill Road had, and the practical effects are beautiful. If you're a gore hound, you like your gore, you like your practical effects like I do. I love my practical effects. This is a doozy for that kind of stuff. You get a lot of the cast returning from Bone Hill Road, and as much as I love werewolf films, as much as I love independent cinema, I'm a sucker for independent cinema. I also love killer clown films, so I decided to check this one out. But again, I'm gonna mention the same thing about the marketing with this that I mentioned with Bone Hill Road. That the marketing is just so misleading. Like, this film does not deliver what you expect it to deliver. It's a very basic killer clown film, and in that regards, it's great. And had I known that going in, I at least would know what to expect, kind of thing. The only thing Clownado really about this film is the fact that when the clowns show up, they show up in whirlwinds. That's pretty much it, and they're cursed to be like in whirlwinds, kind of thing. But it's not. It's more about the clowns just causing havoc in the, Sid Haig from Devil's Rejects style, or this movie, really good film that I watched called Circus of the Dead. Great killer clown film. But it's more of like the violence from the clowns and the low budget gore and stuff like that. Basically, what we have going on here, first of all, right off the bat, I didn't enjoy this as much as I did Bone Hill Road. I'm starting off with the positives, and I mentioned everything. The clowns also look great. I love the clown makeup. Everybody looks evil and sinister. The villains are villainous as fuck. They show no mercy when it comes to murdering people and killing everybody in their path. And they're evil funny, and they do a good job on that. Now, basically, you have this witch who puts a curse on somebody who I believe who or there's this curse that creates the clowns that get doomed to be in a tornado. Yeah, exactly. There's a witch in this movie that's called Clownado, apparently. And it starts off with this woman, and there's this guy who's one of the clowns who kind of owns her in a sense, and he makes side shows using her, and she turns out to be the main baddie, not the main badass, I should say, of the film, the girl boss badass actress kind of thing. She's really good at that. But the directing on this one and the editing especially, it just makes this film so convoluted. It was very hard to follow, except for the very basics, and it jumps around a lot from so many random scenes. It has that House of a Thousand Corpses. What's the one that a lot of people compare it to with Woody Harrelson? I'm blanking. Natural Born Killers. It has a lot of that style to it, but done way more amateurish in the way I saw it. Of course, this film has its fans, and of course, it's still a fun watch for the most part. I mentioned this in my last review. I'm going to mention it again. When I score films, I score for my enjoyment and I score for quality, and I kind of try and balance them. So when I give a film a low score, it doesn't mean necessarily that I hated the film. Now, I did have to give this a half star out of 5, and that's just my personal, conclusion on it. I didn't love this film. I like it enough to keep it. I like it enough to rewatch it, but it wasn't my thing really. Have I seen worse killer clown films? Oh yes, absolutely. There's one called Dead Clowns that I own that is horrendous. This is a masterpiece compared to that one, and I can think of a few others if I think long and hard enough. That definitely is much lower quality than what we got going on here. Now Todd Sheets, the thing is, he has a vision, and I can see his vision, and he knows how to work with some practical effects artists that are top notch. Like, man, if you like your gore and if you like your crazy over the top, crazy characters kind of thing, then this is a treat. But I don't know, this one just went too far. There's this like Black Elvis character who meets this like redneck hillbilly, and then they kind of become very opposite friends. There is this diner scene that I really appreciated. That's where a lot of the havoc and mayhem come, because everyone kind of gathers in a diner, and then the clowns show up in their tornado and start causing havoc there. And then we have this bar scene with Linnea Quigley, who makes an appearance in this again, just like she did in Bone Hill Road, at a bar. And I don't know, the dialogue. The dialogue especially wasn't as strong as Bone Hill Road's was. Like the dialogue in Bone Hill Road was made a little bit more sense and was more coherent and not as convoluted as this. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, for the directing and the editing, like I said, especially the editing. The editing just was not for me. Very choppy, very cutting from random scene to random scene, where it feels like it's disjointed, and I just couldn't. It was hard to follow. But I did really like the Killer Clown stuff. I will say there's this one line at the end of the movie. It involves dynamite. I'll just say that. I died. I was in stitches. Okay, and for anybody who who's watched this, I'm using that as a pickup line. IDGAF. Okay, I don't give a fuck. It was hilarious. I died laughing at that line. So it has its moments. I'm not gonna say it doesn't, but this was weaker compared to Bone Hill Road, and yeah, I don't want to, I don't want to be the shitter on films. I'm not shitting on it, but I don't want to come across that way. I don't want to come across negative. I tried not to. That's why I always start with positives. But I got to be honest. I mean, on this channel, I'm going to be honest with what I think of a movie, right? And when a film is unwatchable to me, I don't even review it. If I'm reviewing a film, I like it, basically. But yeah, I still will review films, and if there's lots of half-star films that I still enjoy, but I can't not give them a half star just because of, quality things, cinematography issues, sound issues, acting issues, script issues. Like this, it's not a perfect film by any means. But it's semi fun. It's semi fun. The clowns are really cool. So that's what I got on this one. If you like anything that I mentioned, go check it out. Go support Todd Sheets, because always go support independent cinema. And from what I know, especially with Bonehill, like it hit some good festivals, and it has both of these films have cult followings like crazy, and I can see why. I can definitely see why. I can definitely see this one having a massive audience and following, and yeah, it just it didn't work for me as much as it will for others. So I'll just leave it at that. Clownado, hilarious name, but don't expect, like I said, a Sharknado with clowns. It's not like that. It's just a really vicious killer clown film, and they come in whirlwinds. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.